Father's Day is coming up and I know you need gift ideas. Here are 8 things that I've either got for my dad or am considering getting for my dad, ranked from most expensive to least expensive. Let's go. First thing up, a camera. I mean, you all saw this one coming. This is literally like half a camera channel. So it's only fitting that we start off with a camera. Every dad needs a camera in their life. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. This is my Ricoh GR Digital 4, and I'm using my dad's Sony a6000. And both of these cameras are well under the $500 price point. Other options can include the Sony ZV-1F or even the Canon Rebel T7. I got that camera, the a6000, for my dad about a year ago, and the amount of pictures that he's posted to Facebook since that day has increased exponentially. It is a 24 megapixel sensor, so if he ever wants to print anything out, he has more than enough resolution to do so. It records in 1080p up to 60 frames per second, which isn't the best, but it does have really good autofocus performance, so kind of balances out. But the best thing about it is that it's a super compact camera that also allows you to change out its lens. So for Father's Day, if you want to just get your dad started, you can get the body and maybe the kit lens for really cheap. And then if he ends up getting more into it and wants to upgrade his lens, he can do so on his own later. Or if you want something a little bit more simple, you can get him a point and shoot just like this. I have a whole video detailing why I love this specific camera so much, so if you want to go check that out, it'll be up in the top right corner. But yeah, 10 megapixels, has onboard flash, it's super small and pocketable, and yeah, it's just easy to take everywhere and just snap some pictures. Perfect for a dad. All right, next up we have something a little less practical and something a little more novel, a drone. This is another one of those things that can be either super expensive or relatively cheap, depending on how much you love your dad. With that being said, I got my dad this DJI 2 years ago, I think. This specific drone stays under the 250 gram threshold, which is great because the FAA actually requires any drones over 250 grams to be registered with them before you can even fly it. So this one, you can just unbox it, charge up the battery, connect your phone, and send it up and start using it as soon as you get it. The pack I got comes with the drone itself, 3 batteries, and a charging dock thing, the controller itself, and obviously this super nice carrying pouch. The drone itself shoots 4K video, 12 megapixel photos, and has a maximum travel distance of about 10 kilometers, which is just over 6 miles. I will say I've probably used this drone more than my dad has, but he's a huge tech guy, so he just loves the idea of owning a drone. I think the most he used it was when we were having work done on the house and he wanted to go check to see if any of the tiles on the roof got messed up or if his solar panels got dirty or whatever. But I know for a fact that one of his dream things to do with this drone is to get together with his 2 brothers and go surfing and have me fly the drone over top of them and get some cool videos of them just catching some waves together. So hopefully we can make that happen as part of this year's Father's Day gift, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. The next thing we have is actually something that I bought my dad while I was living away from home. And it wasn't always his favorite gift, but recently he has very much taken to it. And that's gonna be a VR gaming headset. So my original intended use for this was that I was gonna get him one and then I was gonna get myself one. And that since I was living far from home, I would be able to just get on VR and we'd be able to talk and play games and whatever. But I was paying way too much rent at the time and I could only afford one of these. So that whole dream completely perished and we just have a standalone VR headset now. But like I said, we are starting to use it a lot more than we originally were. So this one here is the MetaQuest 2. And essentially, if you don't know what a VR headset is, it pretty much has eye tracking and motion tracking in this headset, as well as motion tracking in the individual controllers. So it's able to immerse you in a completely virtual world while you're looking like this. So at first we just played the big name games, Beat Saber, Super Hot, but recently I bought my dad the new Golf Plus game and he's hooked. Pretty much any chance he gets, he puts this thing on and is swinging all by himself in the living room. Actually, for this year's Father's Day gift, I might get him the attachments that you can put on the bottom of this thing where it's like an actual club shaft. And the cool part about it is that the Golf Plus game knows about these attachments and has calibrated profiles for a bunch of them. So you can actually sort of work on your game with the grip in hand using the game. It's really cool. So yeah, I think I might end up going with that for this year's gift, but I'll let you know. So as I said, this is the MetaQuest 2, but since I bought this, they've come out with the MetaQuest 3, which is lighter, has better resolution, a faster processor, and supports augmented reality because it has cameras on the front now. But that one is $500, while this one is $200. So you got 2 great options here at 2 very different price points. So as I said, it just depends on how much you love your dad. So the next one we have is for the work from home fathers, and I can actually just come back here and grab this. It's gonna be a mechanical keyboard. I'm in the process of making a desk setup tour video, and it's really come to my attention that this thing is probably my favorite thing at my desk. It just makes typing and pretty much my entire workday 10 times better than it normally would be. I mean, just listen to this. And I promise you, it feels even better than it sounds. Now, I know there's a lot of options out there, but Keychron is a company that makes really nice pre-built and bare bones kits that work for both Mac and Windows. Now, they also have a ton of options on their own at a bunch of different price points, so I'll just say this. I recommend either the Q2, the V1, or the K6. Those three range from about the $200 to the $80 mark, and they cover pretty much any use case that you could ever think of. It's not gonna make them a better typer, but it's gonna make the typing experience that much better, especially if they're work from home and they work 9 to 5. This is gonna help a lot. Next up is something that I actually didn't even know existed until my mom found it, and it's this Tesla key ring thing. So this thing solves two really big problems that my dad has. The first of which being that his wedding band doesn't fit his finger anymore, so he needed a replacement, and this is a cheap alternative to a full-on wedding band replacement. But secondly, my dad's phone is incredibly old and it dies a lot. And having a Tesla that can put you in some tough situations. So not only does this ring act as a ring, but in the case where your phone is dead and you forgot the card for your Tesla, you can use this to unlock your car. I'm not completely sure how it works. I think it just kind of has an NFC tag built within it that you can program to act as a key for your car, but it's a pretty cool concept. All you have to do is bring the ring and your card to the car, and then you can just add this ring as a key for the car, and you tap your card and it registers it, and then once you do that, all you have to do is put the ring on and tap where you would normally tap your card to unlock the car, and it'll work. So I don't know if my dad's gotten in any sticky situations while having the ring, but I know before we got it for him, he definitely had times where his phone was dead and he forgot the card and he had to figure things out on his own. So hopefully, moving forward, this will help prevent that situation from happening ever again. And I think this was a great gift that my mom found. And also, it looks really nice. Like it says it's coil wood. I don't think it's coil wood, but I mess with it. Next up, we have an oldie but goodie, the Gen 2 Apple AirPods. For $100, they're not the best sounding headphones out there, but for an Apple user, they're definitely the most convenient. My dad's work phone is an iPhone, and he's constantly being called into meetings, so having a pair of headphones that he doesn't have to worry about pairing or connecting to is super valuable. He can just pop the case open, take them out, stick them in his ears, and he's in the call within seconds. The mic quality is more than good enough, and so is the battery life at about 3 to 5 hours of use per charge. For comparison, right now I'm using the Hollyland Lark M2 mics, and this is what it sounds like. And this is what the Gen 2 AirPods sound like. Let me know what you think. Now next up, along the same lines, we have a Bluetooth speaker. This is the one I talked about in my Travel Essentials video. This is the Ultimate Ears Boom 3, but this is the blue one, and this is specifically my dad's. We actually have 3 of these in the family. We have 2 UE booms and 1 Mega Boom. And of all of them, this is the one that gets used the most by far. The UE Boom is 100% waterproof, so this thing actually lives in our shower. The 360 sound, 15 hours of battery life, and the 2 huge onboard volume controls make it perfect for things like barbecues, hoop sessions, and even shower concerts. I will say we've had these speakers for years now, and Ultimate Ears still hasn't come out with a Boom 4, so I'm not sure if they're just kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, or if they just completely kind of forgot about this product line, but these speakers are fantastic. I recommend them to everybody who wants a Bluetooth speaker, and yeah, they're my favorite. So UE Boom 3, Father's Day gift, 2024. And now for a couple more budget options, but before we get to those, if you've been enjoying the video, leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me make these videos and get a gauge for what kind of stuff you guys like to see. So just take a second, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're back. Now for our next item, we actually have a bit of a callback. If your dad's anything like mine, he has a super old phone. He refuses to upgrade, and so his phone is like 7 generations old. And in that old phone lies the original battery that's running at 40% capacity and has an operating system that's actively trying to slow it down, so it's all just bad for the batteries in old phones. So I did what any good son would do and bought my dad a brand new battery case. It was actually kind of difficult to find a battery case for an iPhone 6, but after a bit of digging, I found it. And it's actually pretty cool. Like, you just pop the phone in, it has a built-in lightning port that plugs into the phone, and then it has a separate lightning port that you can plug into to charge both the battery and the phone at the same time. So you use your phone normally, and then when your phone starts to die, there's this button on the back that you can press and hold, and it'll start charging using the built-in battery pack on the back. One more cool feature about it is that it has wireless charging ability. So if you have one of those key chargers, you can place it on top and it'll charge the external battery as well as the battery inside of the phone at the same time. A super simple interface and a perfect solution for any dad who's holding on to their older gen technology. And last on our list, but definitely not least, some sneakers. I've had some really great success with sneakers on Father's Day. I got my grandpa some crispy white Air Forces that he still gets compliments to this day. And I also bought these Vans for my dad, which this is actually like his second pair. So he freaking loves these things. But if you want to get something more customized, maybe if your dad's a walker, you can get him some Hokas. If he's a hooper, get him some Kobe's. Or for the businessman, some dress shoes. Any and all are welcome. Just make sure you know their size and what color they like to wear. Maybe a little bonus tip, you could get them some slides. Maybe some like Adidas Adissage or some Yeezy slides if you're trying to get fancy, or even some like Birks. Something convenient and comfortable. I'm sure dads around the world would love something convenient and comfortable. So that's just about gonna wrap it up for this video. Links will be in the description below for everything that I can find online. And if they're Amazon links, they will be affiliate links, and I do get a little bit of kickback, so I would very much appreciate it if you use those. Leave a like if you enjoyed. It really helps me figure out what kind of videos you guys like and what kind of content I should be making in the future. Press my face up there if you want to subscribe for those videos in the future, and check out this video because this is what YouTube thinks you guys would like to see from my channel. Again, thank you so much for watching all the way through, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.